Mic check. Mic check 1 2. I think we're good. Good morning, beautiful people. BTC Backpack here again with a video. Hope you guys are having a great morning. It's the start of a week. Last week is gone. This week is here. We can reflect on how that went and think, what did we love about it? What did we not like about it? And what can we change? See, something that I think is really important is that we allow ourselves to be able to look at it. Check it out. I got the neighbor's dogs over here. I always got to start recording when I walk past their house. This is just a chit chat, guys. This is a tea talk with you guys. I think it's important to understand as Bitcoiners and in life in general that we have the ability to choose what affects us and what doesn't. We have the ability to choose who we want in our lives and who we don't. We have the ability to choose everything. But why don't we do that? Why do we not take the time to choose, basically what I'm trying to say, guys, is that you have the power and the control in your life in general. Okay? The power and control in your life in general to choose who you want in there. Do these people bring you stress, pain, anxiety, anger? And if they do, you got to cut out the fat, right? And it's no different for Bitcoin. See, in Bitcoin, Bitcoin's everything. Bitcoin fixes this and fixes that. And you need to save in Bitcoin over fiat. And you need to not have high yield savings accounts. You should be saving in Bitcoin. Well, why don't you take some of that advice, right, and apply it to the psychology of your life, your psychological warfare you got going on in your head on having people that bring you heartache and pain. Maybe you hate a job. Well, then stop bitching and complaining about it and do something about it. Be the change. Go get a different job. I don't make enough money. Then go work 2 jobs and go get another job that pays you more. I don't have a skill set. Well, then go learn. It's excuses. Okay? We're in control of our fate. We have one life to live in this world, and we need to do a damn good job at living it. And if all else fails, it's just as important for the parents out there, aunties, uncles, whoever, to teach the younger generation and the people that aren't aware of this, to teach them that this is how you should be living your life. Don't live your life in stress. You need to clear and declutter your mind and declutter your life of nonsense, things that don't bring you any intrinsic value. Okay? Now, yeah, we talk about Bitcoin and, it fixes a lot of things, but when it comes down to, everyday happenings in your life, your car, God, you name it. You can go down the list on a billion things like, I don't have enough money. I don't have a savings account or whatever. Save change. Go mow a lawn. Or hell, to fulfill your soul, you should be giving and volunteering in your communities or with your neighbors. Give back. Always give more than you receive. I think it's really important. And I think it's something that it's probably the least selfish thing you can do. And I promise you guys, because we do this, me, Fanny Packer, and the kids, we do this, and it's paid us back tenfold. And not only that, because it's not about that, per se. It's really about, filling your bucket. We teach our kids to fill your bucket. Does you doing a certain action or doing something nice to with an individual or for an individual or with this group of people, does it fulfill your soul? That's so important. And as Bitcoiners, we need to look at things like that too. It's not always, I get the stack sats and I think that's important, We all know that that's really important, but we also like how many of us actually give or volunteer, or take the time just to talk to like random people. I'm not trying to like preach at anybody or like say that, nobody does that or you guys don't do that, but I want it to be known. Something I just wanted to get off my chest, and so, we control and dictate our lives, and we only have one life to live, and it's valuable. See, another thing too is that as Bitcoiners, we're extremely paranoid. And I don't know why that is. It's like fear mongering, within like social media and stuff like that, or what other people are saying. Like, I think it's important to listen to what others say, but I also think it's just as important to like take it with a grain of salt and circumvent your own decision and your own like thoughts. And, as a society or as a American citizen, personally, I think you always question your government. You don't take everything at face value. Take the time to do your due diligence and question everything you hear. Now, just because someone says something like maybe like, oh, you have to have all your Bitcoin in cold storage, or oh, you have to buy this way, and you have to, hell, I mean, you hear me, I say I buy every hour on the hour, but who am I? I'm just a person circumventing my thoughts and opinions to you guys, and you guys do with them as you please. But, as Bitcoiners, we're so overly like paranoid, and like, I get it. Like, we're holding one of the most valuable assets to ever exist. We're holding money, right? The better money, the best money, right? We call it an asset, and some people will call it a digital currency and stuff, which it's both really. Store of value, okay, all these like talking points and like trigger words and stuff, but I don't think it's fair that when one person says something, or it's like, oh, that's the golden rule. Like, no, that's bullshit. Fucking make up your own mind and do your own thing. Like, don't allow other individuals to like sway your mind and like your decision making for you. But to underline all that, you have to put in the work. You can't just expect like some like one pill and it's gonna like fix all, or like this one thing is like, I can read this one book and that's everything, it's all done. No, like one of the biggest debates I always hear is like cold storage versus hot wallets, and it's like, it's such a bullshit debate. It don't make no sense to me. You own your keys. When you own your keys, you own your coin. That's it. End of fucking story. Like, oh, how does it get to there? And then it's connected to the internet. It's going to get hacked and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no. Number one is own your keys. Obviously, verify your addresses you're sending to. That's part of due diligence. That's part of doing your work. But this whole thing about like, oh, it has to be in a cold storage, or, you have to like, fuck, I don't know, dude. It's just too much like computing power within my brain to be like, just to think about. It's like, simplify shit. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. And I think that turns a lot of people off, because I see people and I hear people in general all over YouTube and stuff, and all over within Bitcoin, and it's no shade to them, but it's like, you ever think that a lot of people don't want to get into Bitcoin because we're we're like making it seem overly complicated, and they're just like, fuck, this is too much work? You ever think about that? You think everybody wants to KYC a fucking wallet? Do you ever think that everybody wants to like be preached to? No, these people don't want that. They want a simple, basic explanation, Mickey Mouse type shit. But we have a tendency of like being overbearing. Keep it simple, stupid. That's the best way to do it. You guys want to orange pill people? You guys want to get people to get into Bitcoin, buy their first sats? I've done several people so far. To me, that's an achievement, getting them on strike. And it's great. And now they're buying one person was buying 10 cents every hour on the hour. Now he's doing 25 cents. You know, I mean, for someone who had a fiat mindset, now they're buying every hour on the hour, 50 cents at a time. And now they're telling me they're going to be skipping coffees, making coffee at home so they can allocate that money into Bitcoin every week. That was keep it simple, stupid, right? So, you know, a little bit on the psychology of control the controllable in your life. A little bit on the keeping it simple, stupid, and Bitcoiners are overly paranoid. Like, I get it, but we have, this is the most valuable thing, and you can lose it, and you have to secure it in ice cold storage and lock it in fucking Antarctica. Dude, I get that. I get it. And if you wanted to take that route, it's also something that needs to be presented accordingly to, because there's a time and place for everything. There's a time when you introduce a new Bitcoiner to, when you introduce a new Bitcoiner to that. You don't just like drop that in their lap. I mean, you can, excuse me, woo, it's a little cold out here. You can mention that, and you can say like, hey, here's some things you should be checking out and looking into. So they have the time to do their research and stuff. But then it's easy to like make it overbearing for them, and just to really turn them off on it. So that's another thing. So just wanted to touch base on those two topics. And as far as like and as far as like Jesus Christ, what's going on? I'm over here freaking got crap in my throat. I also want to discuss a little bit about content creation and community. More so for this one is going to be more so online. I think that every individual has value, and we all bring different things, ideas, traits, and you name it to the table, which is extremely valuable. Some people are better at certain things than others, and some people excel in particular areas. And I think that's a wonderful thing. It allows us to be extremely three-dimensional within Bitcoin. And some people are good talkers, some people are good teachers, some people are good at the tokenomics of Bitcoin, the economics, or cold storages, or you name it. Everybody has their own specialty, right? But I think for the average person, for the average Bitcoiner who is into it, I highly recommend you get on Nostr, and I highly recommend you start connecting with other Bitcoiners and creating community. We have a fantastic community, the Bitcoiners for Freedom group. Jerry Loves Freedom does a live Monday through Friday, and we spin something called the Wheel of Satoshi. We also do a raffle where you can enter in the raffle and against other individuals and have the chance to win more sats. That's community. Droid 88 Sats Radio, he has a fantastic community. He's got the visionaries going on over there. He has School, SKOOL, what he's doing over there. Fantastic videos, highly educational. These are all good, positive people to link up with that are bringing value. But at the same time, don't just be a consumer, because you have value too. Now, start with posts. Post stuff. Put your thoughts and opinions, your ideas in, and get it out there and connect with other individuals. Now, one thing I will say is that it's so important to eventually take the leap of faith to creating digital content in a form of a video. It could even be short form content where you're just doing 40-second clips. But treat it as a digital journal, like I said in my previous videos. Vlogging, it's a digital journal, right? It's a way to get your thoughts out into the world, and other individuals might see value in it, even though we at times may not think that it's going to be valuable. I love tea. And but who are we to say? We're delivering something, other people will find value in it or not, or they'll move on. And that circles back around to what I was saying, where I'm not going to follow people that I don't feel bring me value. I'm just going to be, okay, there's kind of, that's not really my thing, and I'm going to move on. But I think that to really make an impact, we have to take advantage of the technology we have and be able to get this content out there for individuals to see. It's so important, guys. And I'm not saying you need to be some like overly extravagant content creator with all these like fancy, like, you know, introductions or, you know, cutscenes and all this stuff. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. Eventually, once your creativity starts flowing, that might be something you want to do, and that's kind of cool. You know, be different. But for me, I was sitting down in my house, fanny packer and hodler are out. They're going to take care of some chores at the moment, and Flipper's just waking up, and I had woken up early. I jumped in the shower, tidied up a bit, and then got my tea ready, and I'm sitting down going through my progression, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm writing some stuff on Noster, reaching out to some friends of mine and catching up on some content. And I said, okay, well, I'm consuming right now, but I also need to be making content. I also need to be delivering on my end. And so I said, okay, well, let me get up. No gimbal today, no lapel, just whipped out the phone, press the record button, and start talking. And that's where we're at now. So anyways, it's always a pleasure talking to you, beautiful people. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. A lot of people might not like what I have to say, but with all due respect, I don't give a shit. Because you take it as you please. You take it. If you vibe with it, you vibe with it. If you don't, you don't. I'm always available for questions, comments below, ideas, suggestions, anything you guys want to say, get a hold of me, hit me below in the comment section. I'll also put my Noster down there, my strike links down there. Buy every hour on the hour. You should be stacking sats no matter what, every day. No excuses. No excuses, absolutely none. Buy something. Have more sats today than you had yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Somewhere up here, I don't know where, there's a QR code. I'm accepting to anything you beautiful people are willing to give. It's support. It helps the channel. It helps me out. Makes me feel good. And it doesn't go unnoticed, because you wonderful people out there are the people that power this channel. They give me a lot of motivation. My family first, then you guys second. And I just want to say I really appreciate your time, because that's the most valuable thing that you can never make more of and you can never get back. So, anyways, BTC Backpacker here, wrapping up this video with my wonderful cup of tea. I'll stick the pinky out for you guys. And in the next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.